Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. How are you today? Today I am here with Emma, and today we are going to talk about the 5 a.m. lifestyle, what it is, what the research says, and whether it is actually worth trying.
Hello everyone. I am very happy to be here today. Let's start our conversation.
Emma, before we dive in, let me ask you something. What time did you wake up this morning?
Honestly, about 7:15, which feels very late compared to what we are about to discuss.
Yes. 7:15 feels almost indulgent when you are talking about a 5 a.m. wake-up call.
Exactly. And I have to say, waking up at 5 in the morning is something I find both fascinating and slightly terrifying.
I think that is a very honest and relatable reaction, and I think a lot of our listeners feel exactly the same way.
Yes, the idea of the 5 a.m. lifestyle has become incredibly popular in recent years.
It really has. You see it everywhere. Books, podcasts, YouTube videos, social media.
Successful people talking about how waking up at 5 changed their lives completely.
And at the same time, there is a growing conversation about whether it is genuinely beneficial or just a trend.
Yes, and that is exactly what we are going to explore today. Not just the hype, but the actual evidence.
Hello to all our wonderful listeners. We are so glad you are here for this one.
Yes, welcome everyone. Today we are going to have a real intelligent conversation in English.
And along the way, you are going to pick up some really sophisticated vocabulary and natural phrases.
Perfect for B1 to B2 learners who want to discuss real-world topics with confidence.
Okay, Emma, are you ready to explore the world of 5 a.m.?
Ready, even if it means thinking about waking up before sunrise. Let's go.
Okay, so let's start with the basics. What exactly is the 5 a.m. lifestyle?
At its core, the 5 a.m. lifestyle is the practice of deliberately waking up at or before 5 in the morning every day.
And the idea is that by waking up earlier than most people, you gain extra quiet and productive time before the rest of the world wakes up.
Yes, proponents of this lifestyle, the people who advocate for it, argue that those early morning hours are uniquely powerful.
The phrase that often gets used is the golden hours, the time between 5 and 7 a.m. when the world is still and your mind is fresh.
And this idea is not new. It has been around for centuries, actually. Many historical figures were known for rising extremely early.
Yes, Benjamin Franklin famously said early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise.
So the concept has deep roots, but it has had a serious revival in modern culture.
Books like The 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma brought it into mainstream conversation.
And social media amplified it enormously. People posting their 5 a.m. workouts, their sunrise walks, their morning journals.
Creating what some people call productivity culture. This idea that every minute of your day should be optimized.
Yes, and that is where the conversation becomes more nuanced and interesting.
Because on one hand, the evidence for early rising is genuinely compelling.
And on the other hand, there are real questions about whether it is right for everyone.
So let's look at the benefits first. What does the research actually say about waking up early?
Well, several studies have found that people who wake up early tend to report higher levels of life satisfaction and positive well-being.
Yes, a large study published in the journal Nature Communications found that morning people, what researchers call larks, reported better mental health outcomes than evening people, called night owls.
And there are some logical reasons for that. One of the biggest is what psychologists call decision fatigue.
Decision fatigue. Yes, the idea that as the day progresses and we make more and more decisions, our mental energy depletes.
So the earlier in the day you tackle your most important tasks, the more mental clarity and willpower you have available.
Which is why many high performers report doing their most creative or demanding work first thing in the morning.
Yes, writers, athletes, executives. Many of them structure their days around that early morning window.
And there is also the element of quiet and solitude. At 5 a.m. there are no emails, no phone calls, no social obligations.
Just you and your thoughts. That uninterrupted time is incredibly rare in a modern connected world.
Yes, we live in an age of constant distraction. Notifications, messages, demands on our attention.
And those early morning hours exist in a kind of protected bubble before all of that begins.
Many people who practice the 5 a.m. lifestyle describe it as the only time of day that truly belongs to them.
That sense of ownership over your time is psychologically very powerful.
It is. And there is research to support this too. Autonomy, the feeling of being in control of your own time, is one of the strongest predictors of happiness and well-being.
So, if waking up early gives you that sense of autonomy and ownership, the psychological benefits can be significant.
Now let's talk about the physical health dimension, because there is interesting research there too.
Yes, human beings have what is called a circadian rhythm, an internal biological clock that regulates our sleep and wake cycles.
And for most people, this clock is naturally aligned with daylight. We are designed to be active during the day and to rest when it is dark.
Waking up early and exposing yourself to natural morning light reinforces this circadian rhythm,
which has downstream effects on hormone regulation, metabolism, mood, and even immune function.
Yes, morning light exposure triggers the release of cortisol, not in a stressful way, but in a healthy, alerting way that helps you feel energized and focused.
And it also helps regulate melatonin production later in the evening, which improves sleep quality.
So there is a virtuous cycle. Wake up early, get morning light, have better energy during the day, sleep better at night, wake up easier the next morning.
That virtuous cycle is one of the most compelling arguments for the 5 a.m. lifestyle.
Compelling. Yes. The evidence genuinely supports it when you look at it from a biological standpoint.
Now, let's be balanced here, because there are also important counterarguments and caveats.
Yes. And I think this is where the conversation gets really interesting.
The most significant one is chronotype. What is a chronotype, Emma?
A chronotype is your natural biological tendency to feel alert or tired at certain times of the day. It is largely determined by genetics.
So some people are naturally morning types. They wake up easily, feel alert early, and wind down naturally in the evening.
And others are genuinely night owls. Their bodies are biologically primed to be alert later in the day and to need more sleep in the morning.
And research by sleep scientists like Matthew Walker suggests that forcing a night owl to consistently wake at 5 a.m. can actually be harmful.
Yes, chronic sleep deprivation, even mild, ongoing sleep loss, has serious consequences for cognitive function, mood, cardiovascular health, and immune response.
So the key question is not whether 5 a.m. is good in theory. It is whether 5 a.m. is right for your individual biology.
Exactly. And this is where the blanket advice of just wake up at 5 and your life will change becomes problematic.
Because if you are a natural night owl waking up at 5 every day, you may be building a sleep debt that undermines all the supposed benefits.
Yes, you cannot outdiscipline your biology indefinitely. Eventually, it catches up with you.
That is such an important and honest point. The 5 a.m. lifestyle is genuinely powerful for the right person, but it is not a universal solution.
And I think the most responsible version of this conversation acknowledges both sides.
Yes, the evidence is real. The benefits are real. But so is individual variation. And so is the need for sufficient sleep above all else.
8 hours of sleep ending at 6 a.m. is vastly better than 6 hours of sleep ending at 5 a.m.
Absolutely. Sleep quantity and quality must come first. The wake-up time is secondary.
So the real message of the 5 a.m. lifestyle perhaps is not the specific time, but the principle behind it.
Yes, the principle of intentionality, of designing your morning deliberately rather than just reacting to whatever the day throws at you.
Whether that intentional morning starts at 5, 6, or even 7,
that reframe feels very healthy and honest. It is not about the number. It is about the intention.
Exactly. Own your morning, whatever time that morning begins for you.
Okay, now let's look at the language we have been using in this conversation. Because today's episode is rich with sophisticated vocabulary.
Yes, this is intermediate to upper intermediate vocabulary. Very useful for anyone wanting to discuss real-world topics in English.
Let's start with words for talking about evidence and research. These are essential for analytical conversations.
The first one, compelling. This means strongly convincing. The evidence is compelling. A compelling argument.
Compelling means you find it hard to disagree with. It pulls you in. It convinces you.
The next one, nuanced. Something that is nuanced has many layers and is not simply black or white.
This is a nuanced topic, a nuanced perspective, a nuanced argument.
Nuanced is a very sophisticated word. Using it shows you can think beyond simple yes or no answers.
The next one, proponent. A proponent of something is a person who actively supports or advocates for it.
Proponents of the 5 a.m. lifestyle argue that early rising improves productivity.
The opposite is critic or skeptic. A skeptic is someone who questions or doubts a claim.
The next word, caveat. A caveat is an important warning or condition attached to a statement.
The benefits are real, but there are important caveats. Or, with that caveat in mind, the research is quite strong.
Caveat is a very useful academic and professional word. Use it to show balanced thinking.
The next one, chronotype. We use this one today. Your chronotype is your natural biological tendency for sleep and wakefulness.
Are you a morning chronotype or an evening chronotype? That is a very natural way to use it.
The next one, circadian rhythm. Your internal biological clock. The 24-hour cycle your body follows naturally.
Our circadian rhythms are disrupted by artificial light, shift work, and inconsistent sleep schedules.
Now let's look at some analytical phrases. Phrases that help you discuss topics in a balanced way.
On one hand. On the other hand. These set up a balanced argument perfectly.
On one hand, the evidence for early rising is compelling. On the other hand, individual biology must be considered.
Another one. At its core. This means at the most fundamental level. Stripped of everything else.
At its core, the 5 a.m. lifestyle is about intentionality, not just the time.
Another one. By the same token. This means similarly or for the same reason.
Waking up early can improve focus. By the same token, insufficient sleep can destroy it.
Another one. It is worth noting that. Used to add an important piece of information.
It is worth noting that not all research on chronotypes is conclusive. There is still much to learn.
These analytical phrases make your English sound very educated and thoughtful.
Yes, they help you structure complex arguments clearly and naturally.
Now let's look at some vocabulary related to health and well-being that we use today.
Well-being. Your overall physical and mental health and happiness, not just the absence of illness.
Sleep deprivation. The condition of not getting enough sleep. Chronic means ongoing and long-term.
Chronic sleep deprivation is a serious public health issue in many countries.
Cognitive function. The mental processes of thinking, learning, remembering, and problem-solving.
Sleep deprivation significantly impairs cognitive function. You think more slowly and make more errors.
Autonomy. The freedom and ability to make your own choices and control your own life.
Autonomy over your time is one of the greatest predictors of happiness and life satisfaction.
Decision fatigue. The declining quality of decisions made after a long period of decision-making.
To avoid decision fatigue, handle your most important tasks early when your mental energy is highest.
Virtuous cycle. A chain of events where each positive outcome leads to another positive outcome.
The opposite of a virtuous cycle is a vicious cycle, where each negative outcome makes things worse. Yes, the passive voice is used when we want to focus on what happened rather than who did it.
Active voice. Researchers published a study. Passive voice. A study was published.
We used it today. A study was published. Morning people are called larks. It is largely determined by genetics.
The passive voice makes your English sound more formal, objective, and analytical.
And it is very commonly used when discussing research, science, and evidence-based topics.
One more grammar point. We also used conditionals for balanced analysis today.
If you are a natural night owl, waking up at 5 may be harmful. That is a first conditional, a real and possible situation.
And if waking up early gives you autonomy, the psychological benefits can be significant. Also first conditional.
Conditionals are essential for analytical English. They allow you to discuss cause and effect clearly.
Wonderful. So much rich language in today's episode.
Now we want to hear from you, our wonderful listeners.
Yes, we have a very interesting question for you today.
Are you a morning person or a night owl? And have you ever tried waking up earlier deliberately?
Tell us in the comments. What time do you usually wake up? And do you think the 5 a.m. lifestyle could work for you?
Try to use some of today's vocabulary in your comment. Words like chronotype, well-being, or intentional.
Even one sentence using a new word is excellent practice. We read every single comment.
And if this episode is giving you real English you can use, please like and subscribe to the channel.
It means so much to us and helps more learners around the world find these conversations.
Now, Emma, let's summarize the key takeaways from today's discussion.
Yes. Takeaway number 1. The 5 a.m. lifestyle has genuine research-backed benefits for many people,
Including improved mental clarity, better decision-making, a sense of autonomy, and stronger circadian alignment.
Takeaway number 2. However, individual chronotype matters enormously. It is not a universal solution.
Forcing your body against its natural rhythm can cause more harm than good in the long run.
Takeaway number 3. Sleep quantity and quality must always come first, before any specific wake-up time.
8 quality hours ending at 6 a.m. is always better than 5 depleted hours ending at 5 a.m.
Takeaway number 4. The real principle of the 5 a.m. lifestyle is intentionality. Owning and designing your morning.
Whatever time that morning begins for you, 5, 6, or 7, the intention is what matters.
Takeaway number 5. If you want to try waking up earlier, do it gradually. 15 minutes earlier each week.
And go to bed earlier at the same time. Do not just cut sleep. Shift the whole window.
That gradual approach gives your circadian rhythm time to adjust naturally and sustainably.
Sustainably. Yes, that is such an important word. Any lifestyle change must be sustainable to be truly beneficial.
Not a dramatic overnight transformation, but a gradual, thoughtful, evidence-informed shift.
Evidence-informed. Yes, let the research guide you, but always listen to your own body too.
Your body is ultimately the best source of information about what works for you.
Okay, everyone, let's do a final review of what we covered today.
Today, we had a balanced and analytical conversation about the 5 a.m. lifestyle in English.
We explored the genuine benefits: mental clarity, decision-making, autonomy, circadian alignment, and morning light exposure.
We also explored the important counterarguments: chronotype, sleep deprivation, and the danger of one-size-fits-all advice.
We learned sophisticated vocabulary: compelling, nuanced, proponent, caveat, chronotype, circadian rhythm, autonomy, decision fatigue.
We learned analytical phrases. On one hand, on the other hand, at its core, by the same token, it is worth noting that
We practiced the passive voice, very important for analytical and evidence-based English.
And we learned that the real message of the 5 a.m. lifestyle is intentionality. Owning your morning on your own terms.
I think this was one of our most thought-provoking episodes yet.
I completely agree. I feel like I learned something today as well as taught something.
That is the best kind of conversation, when both people genuinely engage and think.
Yes, and I hope our listeners felt that too. That this was a real conversation, not a scripted lesson.
Because real English lives in real conversations about real ideas. And today we had exactly that.
Beautifully said, Jack. Real English lives in real conversations about real ideas.
Listeners, take that idea with you. Find real topics that interest you and discuss them in English.
With a friend, a language partner, or even out loud to yourself. The topic does not matter. The practice does.
Today was a lot of fun and genuinely thought-provoking.
I enjoyed our conversation today so much. I might even set my alarm a little earlier tomorrow.
Let us know how that goes, Emma.
I will report back. Maybe not 5 a.m., but perhaps 6:30.
That is a very reasonable and evidence-informed decision.
Exactly. Gradual, intentional, and sustainable.
Thank you everyone so much for joining us today. You are truly wonderful listeners.
Yes, thank you. Please like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comments below.
We will see you in the next episode. Keep thinking, keep learning, and keep growing.
See you next time. Keep learning and keep growing.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.